Yep, says live on YouTube.
There we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Great Black Speakers Podcast, where we connect through conversation. I'm your host, Lawrence Watkins. I am the founder and CEO of Great Black Speakers. I'm also the president and chief operating officer of the Black Business School. Today, we're connecting you with a very special guest, Brother Mikeflo. Mike is an entrepreneur. He's a DJ for the legendary hip hop crew, Dead Prez. He's just done so many different things in his life. And he's come here today specifically for our audience to share his life story in terms of how he got to this point, his viewpoints on success, and why really today is the first day of the rest of your life. So, Mike, how are you doing today, man?
Man, I'm stronger than ever, man. How you doing, Lawrence?
Doing well, man. Doing well. It's always great to speak with you. And
Yes.
just tell the audience a little bit about you, because you're one of those behind the scenes type of characters, type of cast that a lot of people may not know about, but you have such an awesome, unique story that everyone should really know about. So tell the audience a little bit about what you're currently doing and how you get to this point in time.
All right. I'm Mikeflo, aka Michael Flowers, aka Masuda Sante. I do a lot. I'm a creator of things. So not only am I a DJ, I'm a tour DJ for almost 15 years now for Dead Prez. I'm an organizer. I'm a revolutionary. I do some modeling, although I don't really consider myself a model per se. I'm a recording artist. I have a band called Welcome to the Limit.
Modeling those glasses, though. You got the glasses.
I feel like Sam Rothstein in these motherfuckers. No ginger. But what else, man? I'm a consultant. I'm a recording artist. I'm a producer. I'm a fresh maker, and I'm a creator of things. You know what I mean? And I'm a sharer of ideas. I am a retired school teacher. I am an 18-year cancer survivor. I'm a son. I'm a father of two, a 19-year-old and a soon-to-be 18-year-old. And I do a lot, man.
Cool. Well, we probably should have titled this "I Am," right? Because there are a lot of different things. And I think that's awesome that you're able to put that in perspective. And I want to first get into this piece of you being a creator. So talk about your creative journey in terms of when you knew that being a creator was going to be your career path.
You know what? It kind of fell in my lap by kind of overthinking things that I thought I wanted to do or wanted to become or wanted to accomplish. And, it's kind of like a songwriter saying that, or any writer saying that they have writer's block. And oftentimes it's because they are overthinking, what's right before them. So when I was in college or when I was having all these thoughts, and it can almost grow into an angst about, I feel like I have so much that I want to do, but I'm one person. I've been told or trained by Western philosophy that I have to do one thing at a time. And I have to completely dedicate myself to that and only that. And once I broke out of that, I said, wait a minute, man, what I want to do is what I'm already doing, and it's taking an inventory of my life and saying that, it is okay if on Monday I want to do this. On Tuesday, I want to do this. On Thursday, I want to double back and continue for what I started Monday. And then Friday, I want to start something completely new. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how my life is going. The rhythm of my life has just been like that. And it kind of supersedes everything. So, today, like, I want to listen to some roots and culture reggae. Tonight, I'm DJing a party. Tonight, I'm going to play some roots and culture. You know what I mean? Now that might morph into something else. You know what I mean? And I think that's a very poignant message that I want to get out to creatives, or especially young people who may not know exactly what they want to do, or have been told by the elders or professionals in certain realms of how they should attack the things that they want to do, because people's minds change. Change is constant. Anything that doesn't change is dead. You know what I mean? You don't drink stagnant water. So I just want people to be to take that pressure off of themselves, be skillful, learn the things that you want to learn, and create ways to apply those things, you know, in your life. And it's hard work, but it's so rewarding. And like I taught school for 12 years. People will say, okay, what, and then you made a career change? And it's like, no, I was doing everything that I'm doing now then. I just subtracted one thing and morphed that into and replaced that with something else. You can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it, especially in the information age that we live in right now.
Yeah, no, I love that answer. And I think it's so true because, you hear this all the time. Like there's this constant, I guess what's that? Well, pull and tug, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
tug of war between like focusing and developing a certain level of expertise, and then having broad experience, broad knowledge that adds, I guess, a level of flavor to your life, or just a
Mm-hmm.
level of happiness and joy. And a lot of people, they make that mistake of doing a lot of things for many years that they don't want to do in
Mm-hmm.
order to retire and get back to doing what they actually wanted to do. Right. And the first person I ever heard that from was Tim Ferriss in his book, The 4 Hour Work Week. And it's something that's just stuck with me over the last 12 years since I first read that book. And it
Yeah.
seems like, you have followed your own path. You have had your own guiding light in terms of, or your North Star in terms of where you wanted to go. So can you talk to the audience about how you went about maintaining that guiding light, that guiding principle, that just North Star for you personally, when all this noise is coming from so many different directions?
Yeah, great question. In that same parallel that you use with the North Star, I just never stopped. I look at it was one of the more poignant things that I took from impactful things that I remember from the late Nipsey Hussle. I saw him in an interview recently, and he was saying, like, there's nothing, miraculous about my success and my journey. I just never stopped. And so, and leaving that plantation and watching that North Star, you may have had to create a stop or stops, plural, along the way, but um, you never stop traveling. And although, your plan, or like if you were a teacher, your lesson plan may not go, it probably won't go to the plan. But the fact that you have a plan, you have a direction, will increase the chances of you into that morphing into another plan or another contact, which may grow interest in another area. And that's what I did. I just never stopped. My mind is always thinking. And I'm always, trying to, my struggle is compartmentalizing my thoughts. So when I do feel creative in any one particular facet, I can build on that momentum instead of starting over all the time. That's the challenge for me. So it makes me it puts the challenge on me to be organized, to capture my thoughts, to know myself. When we talk about knowledge of self, it's not really about reading a lot of books. It's about knowing who you are. You know what I mean? If you know, like, man, I can be absent-minded and I have great ideas, and maybe I have some attention deficits. Maybe it's best that I write my ideas down. Maybe I'm not good with pen and pencil and paper anymore, but I use the hell out of them. I'm on my phone a lot. So let me put these things in my notes. Or maybe I need reminders. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to keep people around me that keep me inspired. Maybe I need to increase the quality of my crown counsel and the people who are around me to keep me, accountable to my own ideas, to set deadlines and things of that nature. And so this is it never stops. It's an ongoing thing. So there's no romanticized answer about the how. It's just, do you have the intestinal fortitude to continue on when obstacles come, when babies are born, or how do you look at quote unquote obstacles? You know what I mean? I've gone through a lot, bro. I've had cancer surgery. I've had studios being burglarized. I've gone through a lot, but I take everything as an opportunity. There is no failure. There's an experience and there's an opportunity to take lock, stock inventory of your life, and you can guide it how you want to guide it. But very important, and not to be too windy about it, everybody wants to win the Super Bowl, right? But there's 16 games you got to play. You got to play them. Now, out of those 16 games, you won't even make it to the playoffs if you don't win 9 or 10 of those. But before you look ahead to that new opponent next week, you got practice. You have a skill set that you have to polish and things, and you have to feel just as excited about polishing that skill set and running those routes as you are about catching touchdowns in the proverbial Super Bowl. And that's what helps me. That's what keeps me going.
Man, you dropped a lot of jewels right there. And there's so many different directions I could take this conversation. And I think I'm going to take it in the direction of working as a creative. And you dropped a lot of gems, and I want to get back to you here in 1 second. But before we do, for the people who are just tuning in, I'm here with Mikeflo. Mike is an all-around creative, entrepreneur, father, cancer survivor, and many other things as well. Right now, we're talking about his creative process and some of the major life lessons that he has learned through his life so far. So if you like this video, please go ahead and press the thumbs up button on YouTube. Also, if you feel like other people and your friends or family members may benefit from what Mike has to share today, please go ahead and share. And if you want to receive more videos like this in the future, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Last but not least, please make sure you go over to theblackbusinessschool.com. That is theblackbusinessschool.com, and check out what we have over there. So at the Black Business School, we don't just help people climb the corporate ladder, we help them create their own. So it's a site that helps African Americans obtain a culturally relevant yet practical education in all things wealth building at a price they can afford. So we have classes on stock market investing, real estate investing, entrepreneurship, as well as many of the skill sets that you need to learn how to develop in order to be successful in business and also in life. So head over to theblackbusinessschool.com and check out what we have over there as well. And this conversation that we're having right now, in terms of this productivity piece, actually fits the Black Business School and also fits what I was thinking about this morning. So this morning, I wrote a Facebook post talking about ideas are not assets, right? And, no one really pays for your ideas. Sometimes they do, but for most people, even for creatives, they pay for some type of asset that you deliver to the table, whether that's a beat, whether that's a song, whether that's a DJ set, whether that's something else. And a lot of people, including myself sometimes, we get stuck at the 90% point or the 50% point, but it's not until you reach the 100% of completion point that those ideas that you had in your head actually become assets that can be useful to the rest of the world, whether that's to inspire them, educate them, motivate them, entertain them, whatever it is. Like that asset needs to be complete on some level before it can be valuable. So you talked about your process of creation. Can you talk to me a little bit more in terms of why, like this concept, or like why for creatives, like the completion of projects is so important?
Yeah, just to add on to what you said, like a lot of times, and I can speak for myself, completing the task is kind of like the carrot. That's the trophy. Is to say that, I've eaten my food and now I can have my dessert, but I can't have my dessert before I eat my food. Um, a lot of creatives also think in couplets, or think in it, like for instance with me, I tend to think in projects, right? So if it's an album, I'm looking at how I want it to look, how I want it to feel. Um, I'm naming songs before I write them. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking about the completion of it, whether it's going to be an EP, an LP, volume one, volume two, and all of that. That though is a slippery slope, because in my observation, um, you know, being focused on the end goal, they say to begin with the end in mind. Um, but the journey along the way um, is paramount to the end goal. And if you're just so focused on the end goal, a lot of the jewels and the glows and grows of life you may miss along the way. And that's why I parallel it to, wanting to win the Super Bowl. But Wednesday's practice is your Super Bowl. You know what I mean? That's why the title of this episode is, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Everything that you do is a part of the box set. It's not a romanticized idea about, oh, the tangible asset. You are the asset. Your mind, your thoughts are the assets. Now, now we're talking about monetizing them, and, whatever your goals are with them, may vary per the individual. But I see a lot of creatives dealing with, depression, dealing with just some of the perils of life, and not being able to complete certain goals that they have set for themselves. Resources change, minds change. Ideas that you thought were so original, you may find out weren't that original. And maybe someone else is already doing it on a higher plateau, a higher plane. So it's a lot of things. And I see a lot of creatives feeling stumped with, okay, what to do. Also, a lot of people are judging their own success by what others are doing. You know what I mean? And that's also a dangerous thing. So every day, you say, take it one day at a time, man. I'm taking this shit one moment at a time. Feel me? Because this life, all we really have, this life is a collection of moments. And you make a decision, you make a choice as to what type of moments you want to have. The conversation you and I are having right now is just as, or more important than anything I will do today. So when I finish this, I have a party tonight. I'm an open format DJ, and I have to, stay abreast of new stuff on all genres. But that's work. But I'm just as excited about that work as I am completing the party at 4 a.m. The tangible asset that I can charge money for. You know what I mean? And I believe it's the feeling. The feeling, if you can, the feeling supersedes the things. If the things are to bring about, or the accomplishments, the things are supposed to bring about the feeling of success, then I say, if you can if you got a cheat code to supersede the feeling, or to get supersede the assets, to get right to the meat and bones of it, which is the feeling of that, then I think you've won. And you can take that with you in your life as things happen. Maybe you set a 3-week goal to complete a particular project, and maybe it didn't happen in 3 weeks, but now you don't feel like a failure because it took 3 months, because you learned so many more things along the way, and maybe you've started other things along the way, and to take the pressure off of yourself. And I think my life experience has helped me with that, just in terms of, being diagnosed with cancer, says Western science, Western medicine kind of sped me up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm in that hot air balloon on the bucket list every day, man. You know, I'm playing with house money. You know what I mean? So if I want to do something else that's different than what I planned to do yesterday for myself today, if I woke up and I want to do something else, then I do something else. And I put everything I have in that. And so that I can feel the way I want to feel. I don't care if that is listening to my favorite song on the train. I don't care if that is eating some one of my favorite meals that I prepared. The feeling of success really is more powerful than the things that people stress themselves out trying to accomplish and to create these tangible assets so they can feel happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I love that answer too. And another book that I just read, Principles by Ray Dalio. I don't know if you've heard of that one, but he's a big hedge fund manager out of Connecticut, and he's probably one of the biggest in the world, or he is one of the biggest in the world on that particular front. And he wrote a book of principles, just the guiding principles of his life. It's about 12 chapters, right? It's very deep book, but one of the things that he mentions that you just said too is it's not really the destination, but it's the journey, like getting you there, that you really need to enjoy.
Right.
Because if someone handed you $1 billion, although you might enjoy it, you might enjoy it a little bit too much, right? It's not the same feeling as if you had to work for that billion or million or 100,000 or $10,000, and you have to enjoy that process. And it's hard for people. And at least me too. It's hard because you start comparing yourself to other people, to other entrepreneurs. You see Mark Zuckerberg, who's your age, doing this stuff over here. You see Elon Musk doing these types of things over here. You see just all of these different types of people just making a name for themselves in the world. But you get so caught up in thinking about what other people are doing that you're not really focused on the blessings that you have, and also the gifts that you have that you can give to the rest of the world, if you just appreciate them and work them to the best of your ability. And Absolutely. I love what you said in regards to those moments and how you're living on borrowed time. And after this quick break, I want to get into your battle with cancer, and how that has shaped your life up until this point. So everybody, if you're just tuning in, having an excellent conversation today with brother Mikeflo. Mike is an all-around creative. He's a DJ for Dead Prez. He is just a cancer survivor. He's a father. He's so many different things, and he's dropping knowledge in regards to what has brought him life joy and life happiness, and also how creatives can really get ahead in terms of the thought process in this world. So if you like this video, go ahead and press the thumbs up button on YouTube. And also, if you find this content valuable and you think it's valuable for other people in your network, please go ahead and press the share button. And lastly, if you want to subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this in the future, please do so as well. And one more thing, head over to theblackbusinessschool.com. That's theblackbusinessschool.com. We have courses on real estate investing, stock investing, and small business entrepreneurship. We just don't help Black people climb the corporate ladder. We help them build one as well. So head over to theblackbusinessschool.com and check out some of our courses over there. So Mike, back to this, this concept of you don't even live day to day. You say you are living moment to moment, and a lot of that is shaped by your battle with cancer. You were going through that particular struggle. So can you tell the audience how that battle has shaped your life and has redefined the way that you think about things?
Yeah, I have really shifted my paradigm in regards to what I think success is, what I think happiness is, what is paramount and important to me. And I'm just no longer willing to overlook a lot of the things that I have overlooked in my life. I had cancer surgery 2001 October. at the exact same day, the exact same time that my daughter was born. My daughter, I believe, came like a week early. And I thought that I could time it out, have the surgery, be back home and all that. But I end up in having surgery while she was being delivered, and she came out healthy and everything. And shouts out to her mom, and and the community that helped bring about that blessing. Um, but I had to really, really look at what's going on out here and see myself in it. Um, you know, I believe that you don't really win the game until you stop playing it. And as long as you are on that hamster wheel, you know, you'll you'll tire yourself out, man. There are a lot of people, you mentioned, the Mark Zuckerbergs, Elon Musk, and whoever, right? And a lot of these people are, by Western standards, very, very successful, right? But at the same time, man, people, and I'm not saying this pertains to any of these people, but there are a slew of people in this world that are dealing with mental health issues. They are self-medicating. Folks is on all type of drugs, pills. Personal relationships are a mess. The children can't stand them. And no, some shit you just can't buy. You know what I mean? I see, like, they're people, man, like, they're people who have a gang of bread, you know what I mean? And asking me what I have on and where I got it. And my outfit may cost $50. You know what I'm saying, Lawrence? Like it's some shit you just can't buy. You can't buy cool, and you can't buy a feeling. You know what I mean? And so I think that the diagnosis of cancer, and I always say by Western standards, because I believe, I had a cyst on my shoulder. It was I'm using these terms that were given to me by Western medicine. Now, this is supposed to be a sebaceous cyst on my shoulder that grew into this malignant tumor, right? In hindsight, I don't even think I had cancer, right? But the diagnosis scared the shit out of me. And at the same time, my wife at the time lost both of her parents to cancer while I was being diagnosed with cancer with two young children, okay, at the same time. And it scared the shit out of me. But you get to see the character of people. Everything is all good when it's all good. You know what I mean? And the challenge to me was that, I made a determination. I said, man, this is not how I see my story. Like, I'm not going out like that. I'm blessed that it was relatively low grade, so they say. So I had, another surgery then to remove the fragments of the now said tumor. I didn't have to undergo any radiation or chemotherapy, any of those things, which I don't know if I would have gone through anyway. But what it did was it just sped my life up, and it just made some of the shit that I used to really think was super important to me. It just really put things in a different perspective. You know what I mean? So um, things like, my health, how I feel, my stress levels. Am I breathing good? Am I breathing properly? My deep breaths, what am I taking in? Information in this world, the sensationalism and the oversensory of all these things that are coming into my brain. What am I looking at? What am I listening to? What am I eating? Am I hydrating myself enough? All of these things became super important to me, and I was overlooking them before because I was a paycheck slave to uh, whoever's board of education. I wasn't even getting the fullness of the position I was blessed to have as a teacher, as a curator for, you know, to as a purveyor, as a griot to young people, because I was wrapped up in the bureaucracy of this world, whether that be the politics or the bureaucracy of of being a teacher, staff meetings, and you know, all this stuff. And what the cancer did, quote unquote cancer, it just was like, yo, bro, there are people who die from this shit like all the time. So like, do you really care about, like, you know, those shoes necessarily? Like, how much do you really care about that party? Or how much do you really care about what someone else thinks about you? You know what I mean? Like, how well are you sitting with yourself? And I believe it is that which allows me to walk with a certain illumination, a certain light, a certain power that I think permeates into other things that I do, and even makes people think, they say, you know what? I take these glasses off. I just started wearing glasses, by the way. This ain't for show. Like, I wear glasses now. But people will be like, yo, you got all these tattoos on your face. I don't really like tattoos, but it's something about yours. And what they really mean is that how I'm carrying myself, the spirit force behind how I am walking and what I'm about, which allows people to see me in a different light. It allows them to check themselves on their preconceived notions or expectations about what a retired teacher looks like, what a father of two looks like. And I credit that diagnosis of cancer it really gave me a license, a creative license. It sped my world up, and it made things really, it made it impossible for me to ignore some of the things that I deem as very, very important in my life.
That's very, very deep, and it seemed like it's years of introspection, with that answer. And I think the audience really appreciates that. And thank you for sharing that story with us. And yeah, I mean, that is a lot to overcome. Even the diagnosis, right? So maybe you had cancer, maybe you didn't have cancer, right? But just the
Right.
diagnosis in terms of, people dying from something,
Mm-hmm.
just changing your whole perspective about things. And, I've been thinking about that, relatively late too. Like my uncle suddenly passed in a car accident, last, I guess, November, like a week before their anniversary, him and his wife's anniversary, and her birthday, and his birthday too.
Mm.
And just like all of that stuff, and
Mm.
just other people, just especially black men, we just be out here dying, man. It seems like sometimes, not just from police, that's a piece of it, but then also just from heart attacks and strokes, and just all of these different concerns from a health perspective.
Yeah.
That it's just you have to put life into perspective in terms of, what are you going to do right now? What decisions am I going to make today to make sure that my 7-month-old daughter has a great chance to see me, when she graduates from high school or graduates from college, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I love that answer that you gave. And I want to just switch subjects one more time. I can't get out of here before asking you about Dead Press and your
Yeah.
work with Dead Press. So can you talk about that a little bit in terms of how you guys formed that relationship together,
Yeah.
in terms of you becoming their DJ?
Yeah. The relationship, just like Che says in the revolution, man, the revolution is sustained with love. You know what I mean? And that love begins with the knowledge and love of yourself. And that's how we can call each other comrades. And struggle, fight, bleed, laugh, and love along the way. Um, our 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 brotherhood is mounted in revolution. It's mounted in the foundation of work, of community. I met M1 in like 1999 or something. Right during like right before the release of Let's Get Free. Let's Get Free is March 14th of 2020 will be 20 years of Let's Get Free, the first album from Dead Prez. But in short, I met M1 in Chicago with doing some work with the Democratic Uhuru movement in PDUM, led by Chairman Omali Yeshitela out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Through the Uhuru movement, I began working with Mama Akua Njeri, widow of Fred Hampton Sr., mother of Fred Hampton Jr. We were at the time working on a campaign to get Fred Hampton Jr. From behind enemy lines. And through that, he and I became really close. He left Chicago, went back home to New York. I stayed in Chicago because I'm from Chicago, but I went to college and all that in Atlanta. I moved back to Chicago to begin working, teaching, so on and so forth, and starting my young family. And M1 and I got tight surrounding that campaign. From there, I would go to New York, and he and I will always just kick it and just build and relax and chill. And then I met Stick. Stick then moved from New York to Atlanta. I ended up moving back to Atlanta from Chicago. Stick and I got really, really close. Our sons went to the same independent African homeschool. Shout out to Baba Jim, RIP. And a position became open for a DJ. I was already DJing, and it just seemed like a natural fit. Time flies. That's like 14 years ago. I started DJing for Dead Prez in like 2005 on a run in Germany, and never looked back. It seems like yesterday, literally, but it's been 14 years, and it's been a beautiful journey. We still hitting. The guys, we all have our own independent projects, and we still get together. We're still touring. So when people see me in the airports, and it's like, you guys still, like, yeah, we're still getting it. Fortunately and unfortunately, as long as there are poor, disenfranchised, impoverished peoples on this globe, there'll always be space and room for the needed legendary duo of Dead Prez. So the success is not contingent upon album sales. It's not contingent upon recent radio singles and things of that nature. The following is cult. The love is real. I've been blessed to have visited 6 continents, over 50 countries. And right now we're working on the Dead Prez legacy, and just in capsules. So you'll see that in forms of clothing, music, and, without letting too much out the bag, we have a lot in store for this upcoming year, celebrating 20 years of Let's Get Free. And that's been my journey with Dead Prez, and it's a lifelong, and it's a daily journey. Those are my brothers.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love that too. And I think it goes to show as well that you don't need a big following to be successful. You just need you need a passionate following, and people who, really care about you, and people that you impact and transform their lives. Because I know that, you guys have just transformed the lives of so many, through the music that was being made, through the tour stops, through all of that, through all those different types of things. And that's how we are in essence measured to a certain degree, is how much impact are we having on the rest of the world. And you guys have made a major impact, and it's cool to me that you guys connected over shared cultural values, these shared values, this shared mindset, and from that mindset, you guys were able to create something that was great, for the rest of the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, before we get out of here today, so Mike, you've just gone through so much in your life. You have had so many different experiences. What is that one piece of advice that you will tell our audience, those who are just wanting to be, successful, wanting to, make a, have meaning in their life? What would you tell those people?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. Number one, success is a feeling. Success is nothing that you can really chart monetarily. Success is, like if someone's out on the street and they've been out in the cold, sleet, snow, rain all week, sleeping under a viaduct. And then let's say one Sunday, a church opens its doors and they're blessed with, a 5-course hot meal, right? At the time when that person's eating that meal, based on everything that they've gone through in that week, okay? You can't tell me that person doesn't feel good and feel successful eating that meal. So what that says to me is that, we want to, simplify this to the least common denominator. The success is the feeling. The success is not the things. They say the best things in life are free. You know what I mean? But a lot of people think that, oh, well, if I want to be a beachcomber, I gotta, work, accrue this vacation time, secure my retirement package, and then I can go retire to the beach and be a beachcomber. But that's taking a mindset to the beach that the beachcomber doesn't have. You know what I mean? So it's like, how much are you willing to lose to gain everything? You know what I mean? And so when you start looking at that, then maybe that'll shift your paradigm. So stop stressing yourself out about, what you want to gain, what you want to get. Think about, what really intrinsically, innately adds to your happiness, and find a way to do that as much as you can. That is the real success in my experience. And that, for real, today is the first day of the rest of your life. You get a do-over every day if you accept it. You know what I mean? Whatever happened yesterday is in the past, and tomorrow ain't happened yet. What are you going to do with this moment today? And I believe if you really embody that, you will be more kind to yourself. You'll be more kind to others. And I believe that vibration is a vibration of abundance. And then you will receive more. And then once you receive more, your reservoir will be so filled that you'll be able to give without depleting yourself. You know what I mean? But I think that's where it starts, with really looking at what is success. Let's strip these terms down. Let's try to supersede the things and get right to the feeling. And that's what I want people to take with them. You know what I mean? That's what I want people to take with them in terms of, the success and the feeling of that. I think that's very, very important. And I wouldn't replace that. And I wouldn't replace any of the journeys in my life for anything in the world. They have helped make me who I am. Saying you got to push the weight to get strong. You know what I mean? Who wants to push the weight?
Love it, man. Love it. So wise words from a wise man. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today on the Great Black Speakers podcast. So if you guys like this video and like what Mike had to say, Mikeflo had to say today, please go ahead and press the thumbs up button. If you think that other people in your network, your friends, your families, acquaintances, neighbors could benefit from what Mike shared with you today, please go ahead and share this video with the rest of the world. And last but not least, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you want to receive more videos like this in the future. And also, please make sure you head over to theblackbusinessschool.com. That is theblackbusinessschool.com, and check out the many courses that we have to improve your financial life, to provide freedom, to provide legacy, to provide stability for you and your family as well. So on behalf of Brother Mikeflo, my name is Lauren. My name is Lawrence Watkins. I'm the founder and CEO of Great Black Speakers, also the president and chief operating officer of the Black Business School. You guys take care, be blessed, and have a great day. All right, bye-bye.